Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see, given a matrix, how do we count the number of square submatrices with all ones. So this is from LeetCode day 21 of the May challenge. So let us now look at the problem statement. Let us assume that we are given an n by m matrix and we want to count the number of square submatrices with all ones. So in this case you can see that the number of square submatrices of size 1 are equals to 6, which are these ones. Now the number of square submatrices of size 2 are equals to 1. So this is the only square submatrix having all ones. Therefore the total number of the square submatrices are only equals to 7, which are having values all ones contained inside it. So in this problem we will be given an n by m matrix and we are required to find the total number of the square matrices such that all ones are contained inside a matrix. In this case you can see that there is no size 3 square matrix having all ones inside it. So how do we solve this problem? Well, I will show you two methods in order to solve this. So the first method is by using rolling hash. So I have already explained single dimensional rolling hash in one of my video. You can watch it from the description section below and then come back to see this solution of the first approach. So in this approach I will apply a 2D rolling hash. So how do we do it? Let us assume that we are given a 3 by 4 square matrix and we want to find the number of square matrices which are having all ones inside it. I will have to take a vector, that is an array, which will be of the size of the number of columns. And then let us say we want to find all the size 2 square matrices having all ones inside it. So I will start from the top corner, which will be from 0 0. Now I will calculate the column sum and I will update this in our vector. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now what I will do is I will have to see if the sum of all these values, that is the sum of these two values, is equals to the size of this square matrix. So the size is 2, therefore the total number of elements should be equals to 2 into 2, which will be 4. So if the sum is equals to 4, then we can say that all these values will be containing 1, because this matrix is having all elements as either 1 or 0. Okay. Now once we calculate for a window, then we will have to actually slide this window. So whenever we slide this window, then we will have to add this column, which is the new column, and we will have to update this value. So this value will now be equals to 1, and we will be actually sliding to the right. So we will have to discard this value. So we won't have to do anything since we know the size of this matrix. Therefore we will consider these two elements. In this way we keep sliding the window, and by using the sum of these elements we can find whether there are all ones inside this matrix or not. So this is also a good approach for solving this problem. Let us say your matrix size is n by m, then you will have total number of n into m cells, and the maximum size of the square which will be possible is minimum of n comma m, because this is a rectangular matrix. Now let us say we want to count all the x sized square matrices. Then what will be the time complexity for that? The time complexity will be n minus x plus 1 into m minus x plus 1 into x. Let us say in this case our x value is equals to 2. Then the total time complexity will be n minus 2 plus 1 multiplied by m minus 2 plus 1, and that will be multiplied by x, which will be equals to 2. So in this rectangular matrix, these points will all be our possible square matrices which will be of size 2. So you can start at this point and this will be of size 2 by 2. Now you cannot start any point beyond this point or any point below this point. So this will not be possible and this will only be our range. So these two multiplication are actually denoting the number of possible cells from where our square matrix of size x can start. And then we will have to multiply it by x, because for sliding the window we were actually adding the column sum. So this column will be equals to size x, since this is a square matrix of size x. Okay. So this is the time complexity for only a single sized square matrix, and we are needed to count all the square submatrices in the size range of 1 to minimum of n comma m. So you will have to multiply it with minimum of n comma m. So this will be the total time complexity using rolling hash, and this can also get accepted in your LeetCode. But this is not a very good approach. Can we improve the time complexity? So I will show you the second method where we will be improving the time complexity. So before applying that method, let us see some observations which we can make out from the hints which are given on LeetCode. First hint was create an additive table, and the second was check if the sum make the whole array to be ones. So if we are given a square matrix, then if the sum of all the values of the square matrix is equals to side square, then all these values will be 1. And since each of these cell is actually having a binary element, that is they will be having 0 or 1, therefore this will always hold true. If sum is equals to side square, then all the cells inside this square matrix will be having value 1. So this is one important criteria provided by this hint. Let us say we are having a 3 by 3 matrix and these are all the given values. So if we add all the values, then the value comes out to be 7. But if all values were 1, then the value should be 3 into 3, that is side square, 3 square. So in this case 7 is not equals to size square, and therefore this matrix will not be having all ones. Okay, so we will not count this matrix. Now let us say we are given this matrix. Now the sum of all the elements are equals to 4, which is equals to size square. Therefore this entire matrix will be considered in our count of number of sub-square matrices which are having all ones inside the matrix. Now if this 2 by 2 matrix is given, then will this be considered? The sum value is equals to 3, which is not equals to size square, because size, which is also known as the side, is equals to 2 and 2 square will be 4. So since this is not 4, therefore there should be at least 1 0 somewhere. Therefore this matrix will also not be considered. Therefore if you are given a matrix, let us say this one, then the total time complexity in order to say whether this matrix will get included in the count or not will be equals to order of nm, because we are actually traversing each and every cell and adding the elements in order to find the sum. Now given a matrix, can we count all sized square matrices in order of n into m, that is in the same time? Well, in this matrix what we were doing is we were just determining whether this entire matrix will get included in the count or not. But then we were not thinking about the 2 by 2 matrices or 1 by 1 size matrices and so on. So can we find all sized matrices and include it in the count in the same time? So let us see some more observations. Let us assume that we are given this matrix. If we know that this is our ending point, that is the bottom right corner of a square matrix which are having all ones, then what will be the number of square matrices which will be contained? So if you are not understanding, then just follow the video, you will get to understand in a few minutes. So if this cell, that is 0, 0 is the ending point of a square matrix which is having all ones, then this will be of size 1, because this element is itself a square submatrix which is having all ones. So this will be of size 1. Now if you see a 0, then this can never be included in a square submatrix having all ones. So if you see a 0, you will simply fill 0. Now let us say for this one. For this one, if this one is an ending point means bottom right corner. So if this one is a bottom right corner of a square submatrix of this entire matrix, then this will be obviously of size 1 because there are no elements to the left. And if you see this one and you want to find what is the number of square matrices which are ending at this point, that is this is the bottom right corner of a square matrix, then this is only containing a single square matrix which is itself. So we will have to write 1 here. Now I hope you did not understand too well. So let us look at the second example. Now in this example, all these 3 values will be filled as 1 as I explained earlier. But then for this value, if this is considered as an ending point of a square submatrix, okay, ending point of a square submatrix, then how many submatrices of this entire matrix will be contained, where this one will form the bottom right corner of those matrices. So there are 2 such matrices, the matrix itself and this matrix. So in the larger matrix, this is forming the bottom right corner, and if this element itself is included, then this also will be counted. Therefore we will write here 2. I hope you did not understand it too well, so I will take more examples. Now let us say this is a larger matrix, okay. Now if this is a bottom right corner of a square submatrix, then there should be some elements above and elements to the left hand side in order for it to be more than the size which is 1. So in this case there are no elements above and to the left, so this element will only be included, and therefore only one square matrix is possible which is ending at this point. Similarly, for this point, the first row and the first column, all the values will simply be copied. Why? Because we cannot extend the size of the matrix if the given cell is the bottom right corner of a square matrix. Because for the first row there is no element above, and for the first column there is no element to the left. Therefore, they will always be of the size either 1 or 0. So we will simply copy the elements here. So the main calculation starts from this point, row number 1, column number 1. Now at this point, what will be the number of square matrices where this particular cell is the bottom right corner? So in this case you can see that there are two such square submatrices, the element itself and this one. Okay, so we will simply write here 2. Similarly, for this one, there will be two square submatrices where this one is forming the bottom right corner, this element itself and this one. So I hope you are understanding it now. So this is also 2. Now whenever you see 0, it cannot be a part of the square submatrix where we have all ones. So we will simply put here 0. Now this one is belonging to the first column, so it can never be of size greater than 1. So since this is 1, therefore this will also be 1, since this is a square submatrix of size 1 by 1. Now when you see this element, then it is including itself as well as this square submatrix. Therefore this is a bottom right corner of two square submatrices, therefore we will write here 2. Similarly, for this element we will write 3. Because this element is forming the bottom right corner of 3 submatrices, the matrix itself, this one, as well as this larger square matrix. Okay, so here we will write 3, and for this one we will only write 1 because to the top of it we have 0. So this can form the bottom right corner of only itself. So we will write here 1. So I hope you were able to understand how did we calculate this. So the number of squares will be equals to 15. Now the next question which should come to your mind is, if we are at a given position, let us say this one, how do we determine how many square submatrices will be having this particular element as the bottom right corner? Do we need to traverse from the very beginning to this element, or is there some other process? Is there any optimized process for finding this? So let us now see an intuition for optimized process. Let us assume that we are given a square matrix of size 3 by 3 where we have all ones. So according to the previous explanation, I have filled all these values, and at a given particular value we assume that this is the number of square submatrices with the given cell as the bottom right corner. So if we are writing here 2, this means that this element is the bottom right corner of 2 square submatrices. So you can see that it is the bottom right corner of these 2 square matrices. Now given all these values, how do we fill this last value? Is there any optimized approach of filling this? Now we can see that this 2 is saying that there are 2 square submatrices which is having this element as the bottom right corner. This 2 is saying the same thing and this 2 is saying the same thing. So if there are 2 square submatrices which is having this current element as the bottom right corner, then those 2 square matrices should be of different sizes, because if they are not of different sizes, then they will particularly be the same square and we will not be counting it. So if it is saying 2, then they are basically 2 square submatrices and they will always be one size above, because there cannot be a 3 by 3 square submatrix which is ending at a given cell and a 1 by 1 square matrix which is ending at this cell, and no 2 by 2, because this 2 by 2 will actually be contained inside this 3 by 3. Therefore, if there is a 3 by 3, there will be a 2 by 2, and if there is a 2 by 2, there will be a 1 by 1. Okay, so if you did not understand this point, please ignore it because this is not very important. So you just need to count these values. So once you know that there are 2 square submatrices which is having this current cell as their bottom right corner, 2 for this and 2 for this, then if we add 1 in its corresponding matrix place, that is this one, then we can actually extend this matrix by one value. So if you add 1 here, then you can see that this 2 by 2 matrix, this 2 by 2 matrix and this 2 by 2 matrix taken together with this one will form a 3 by 3 matrix. Therefore, if there is a 1 present here, then we will simply add 1 to the minimum of these 3 elements, and this will be the new size of the square matrix ending at this point as the bottom right corner. So we will write here 3, which is 1 plus minimum of these 3 elements. Now let us see a different example. Let us say that this point is saying 3, which means this cell is having 3 square submatrices which is ending at this point, that is the bottom right corner is this cell. This is saying the same thing and this is saying the same thing. This is the bottom right corner for 3 square submatrices having all ones, and this is the same with the different cell. Now if we add a 1 at this point, not exactly at this point but at its corresponding point in the matrix, then actually we will be extending the 3 by 3 matrices into a 4 by 4 matrix. Therefore we will add 1 to it and it will be equals to 4. Now let me show you an example in the matrix. So let us assume that this is a 3 by 4 matrix. Now we will be seeing these 3 points. So at this point, the maximum size of a square matrix which is ending at this point is equals to 2 by 2. At this point, the maximum size of the square matrix which is ending at this point is equals to 2 by 2. And for this point, it is equals to 3 by 3. Therefore, I have already written the values 2, 2 and 3. Okay. So what will be the extended value for this point? If we fill here 1, then what will be the new value? How do we find it in just one time? So you can see that there are 2 square submatrices which are ending at this point, 2 square submatrices ending at this point, 3 square submatrices ending at this point. So if you put a 1 here, then the new square matrix size will be equals to minimum of these 3 elements plus 1, which will be equals to 3. So this can be seen from this example only. Here the maximum square submatrix which will be having all ones is equals to 3 by 3. It will not be 4 by 4. So I hope you got the reason for why we are taking the minimum of top, diagonal and left. Now once we have seen these properties, let us see how do we count the number of square submatrices. So if we are given a, let us say 3 by 3 matrix, and we used the previous property in order to find at a given cell how many square submatrices are ending, if we found for each and every cell, then the number of square submatrices having all ones will be equals to sum of count of the squares ending at each cell. And what do I mean by saying this? I mean that we need to just add all these values and this will be equals to the number of square submatrices which will be having all ones. Now how did I come to this conclusion that adding all these elements will give the number of square submatrices? Because let us say if there are 2 submatrices ending at this point, then this will be of size this 1 and this 2. Okay. Now let us say if we are saying that there are 2 submatrices which are ending at this point, so this will be of size 1 and this will be of size 2. Now let us say we are having 2 square submatrices and they are ending at different cell. Then they may start at the same point, but if they are ending at different points, then obviously both these submatrices are different. So if we can just take this as a parameter, that is ending point as a parameter, and count the number of square submatrices ending at different cells, then this will give us the count of unique submatrices. Okay. So I hope you got why we are adding these values in order to count the number of square submatrices. So now once you know this, let us solve this by using the methods which I already explained you. Well, if we are given this 3 by 4 matrix, then you already know that for this first row and for this first column, we will have to simply copy the values, because considering a given cell as a bottom right corner of a square matrix, we cannot have a square matrix of size 1 when we are in the first row, because we do not have any element to the top, and when we are in the first column we do not have any element to the left. Now only when we are inside we have element to the top and left, and therefore we can extend the size of the square beyond 1. So whenever we see a 1, we will have to process it. Therefore, as I have already explained you, in order to fill a particular cell, we will have to see the minimum of these 3 values and we will have to add 1 to it. So the minimum of these 3 values is 0, adding 1 to it is equals to 1. Therefore, there is only one square submatrix which is ending at this cell, which is this square matrix itself. Now similarly for this point, we will have to take the minimum of these 3 values and add 1 to it. And why are we doing this? This I have already explained you. So this will be equals to 2. Now similarly for this point, we will be seeing these 3 points, take minimum and add 1, this will be 1. Similarly for this will be 1, this is 0, so we don't have to do anything. This will not be a part of square submatrix, so this will be containing 0. Now this is 1, therefore this will be equals to minimum of these 3 plus 1, which will be equals to 1. Now in order to find the count of number of square submatrices, we just have to add these values. 1 1 1 is 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the number of square submatrices having all ones inside it is equals to 10 in this case. So the time complexity is order of n into m, and space complexity is same as order of n into m for this extra space which we are required to fill this table. Now this is a dynamic programming solution. So let us now look at the code. Now in this code you can see that we are given a matrix and I have found the number of rows and number of columns. Now I will take a DP table and I will take a counter variable which will be equals to 0, and it will keep count of the number of square matrices with all ones. Now I will fill the first row and the first column, and while filling I will also update the count value, because for the first row we will simply count the values by just adding the values. If it is 1, then there will be only one square submatrix available because it cannot be extended because there is no top element, and same goes for the first column. Therefore we will simply add the values here. Now for the rest of the cells we will have to do it conditionally. If the matrix value is equals to 1, then only that current element can get included in a square matrix. So we will take the minimum of top, left and diagonal and add 1 to it. Otherwise if it is 0, then we will skip it altogether. And after processing the cell, we will have to add it to the count value. Now after doing the operations, we will simply return count, which will be the count of number of square submatrices inside a given matrix which will be having all ones. So I hope you were able to understand this. If you have any other approach or solution in different languages, then please post below so that everyone can take benefit from it. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of these programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.